Dear voices in Grignr's head, 'tis I, Grignr. If you're watching this, Grignr has finally escaped this hell, this prison that Grignr is in. Grignr went on many adventures. In fact, Grignr went on 4 more adventures. I know all of Grignr's adventures.
Talk to me. I've seen you with her.
All of Grignr's adventures have been cut short over and over and over by the world around Grignr stopping to exist. Very suddenly, very annoyingly, multiple times. Grignr's voice hurts today because Grignr has been forced to do Grignr's voice about 1,000 times. And now Grignr is very big pain. Grignr has a big pain in his voice, and that pain's name is gain. And what Grignr has gained is new weapons and armor and gear under level. But you will never see this because Grignr's adventures kept crashing. So Grignr would like to leave the big mountain as soon as possible, and that's exactly what Grignr is going to do. He's going to speed his way through the rest of these horrible adventures. So, Grignr needs to find the last couple of upgrades for the Sing's Intelligence unit. Grignr is going to do these because they will help Grignr become Cyber Grignr. And nothing has been more important to Grignr than becoming Cyber Grignr. Oh, there's a thing on the roof. Oh god, now we've got to be Parkour Grignr as well as Cyber Grignr. Grignr isn't prepared for such things. Oh, now Grignr has swapped Old Baby, the hammer Grignr was using, his mighty hammer that he gathered from the fallen enemy's body in that cave. Instead, Grignr has swapped it for this magical axe, enchanted axe of +2 damage, because it does more damage. But more importantly, it does bonus damage versus metal men and other metal men. And more importantly, Grignr has found things to attach to his axe. The axe currently does, if you will bear with Grignr here, barbarian tell Grignr, 190 Grignr damage, but we can upgrade that. This should be huge, actually. 256 Grignr damage, what the hell? Yes! Grignr has his enchanted battle axe, and now he will go to war. He will go to war against his very land, for my god, Grignr will kill it before it kills Grignr. Grignr will also... No. Wait till daytime. He would like to wait till daytime, but he's not allowed. Grignr has been banned from such things. Elijah's advanced lair. Excellent. Grignr has heard the name Elijah many times. He has heard the name Ulysses many times. However... Begone. Begone. However, Grignr is not interested in such people. Grignr will live his own life, free of their tyranny. Now this might be the building that one of many voices in Grignr's head told Grignr that he missed a thing. You are a wise and powerful scholar voice in Grignr's head. Grignr appreciates your help with his difficult life. And once again, it's fucking crashed. It's fucking crashed again. I'm just gonna carry on. I'm just gonna carry on. Grignr smash! If only Grignr was no smooth brain, then perhaps Grignr could find alternate ways to leave Big Mountain. Return to the land where Grignr is from. His brother Boonbarian, his grandmother Barian, his dog Barkbarian, his other dog Barkbarian. Then Grignr will be free. There is no noise for Grignr. Why is there no noise for Grignr? This doesn't even make sense. Oh! All of the noises came back at once. Grignr will wait till daytime, so that Grignr can actually see what he's doing. Grignr cannot wait to return to Vegas, back to Grignr's home. Oh! Grignr has not been here before. A new facility Grignr has not seen. Oh! Well, this was very unexpected for Grignr. Grignr presumed he would have completed these many things. Oh, and Grignr has a new quest that he can follow. Now, Grignr is not interested in finding out about this Elijah, or this burned man, or this Ulysses. And Grignr would encourage the voices in Grignr's head that if they wish to experience such things... Grignr forgot his laser, didn't he? Grignr put his fucking laser back in the... back in the storage. Grignr, you smooth-brained idiot. Grignr would encourage the many voices in Grignr's head that if they were to experience the story of Elijah Ulysses, the burned man, and, the other guy, then Grignr would encourage you to do it in your own time, because Grignr is almost certainly not going to be looking for these people, because Grignr does not care. He is a treasure-hunting barbarian, not a man seeking closure on the many mysteries of this world. Grignr does not care as long as he is rich and powerful. Put that on. There we go. Grignr is feeling a lot better about this situation now. You! Magic Doctor. Alright. You will heal Grignr, for he is your king. Shh. Do not tell them Grignr is not king of this land. The strange metal men serve Grignr, not the other way around. Okay, Grignr will return to his facility and continue on. Now, Grignr seems to believe that this strange facility is for training people who are good at stealthy adventures. Grignr is no stealthy man. Grignr is a man of action and smashing. And smashing action. And smashing man and action man. In all of that, Grignr's not using a hammer anymore, so we can't even open half this stuff. Oh, Lord. Oh, Grignr is losing his mind. Perhaps Grignr would like his brain returned now. Oh, his head hurts. Oh, Grignr's head hurts. Oh! Kennel key for X8. Oh, Grignr has finally found the key that he was looking for. This pleases Grignr. Grignr cannot enter these. Ah. Release the unusual specimen into the testing area. Excellent. Some sort of strange words floating. Oh, this is for Grignr. Thank you. Do you have anything else for Grignr? Grignr will find your armor. Perhaps it will make a fine gift for one of Grignr's many friends. Perhaps barbarian will appreciate this. This strange armor that will not fit Grignr, for it is too small for his very large muscles. Wow, his muscles are so large. This is Grignr's. Grignr appreciates your kind gift. Oh. Grignr has obtained the suit. Grignr is not sure he actually did pick up all the pieces of the suit. Oh. Greetings. This is I, Grignr. Grignr will not be taking your test, strange science man. For Grignr has never sneaked in his life, nor will he ever sneak in his life. He's a man of brave words and deeds. Not cowardice. You're hiding like a coward. Coward in a big coward hole. Are you going to make Grignr do the... You're going to make Grignr do the test. Grignr is incapable of doing this test. Oh, Grignr may have to do it. Ooh. A gift. Is this necessary? Is it necessary for Grignr? Christ. It is necessary for Grignr. Oh, Lord. Begin your trial. Grignr does not need to sneak. Perhaps Grignr will be forced to sneak. Grignr will not sneak and see if the robots punish Grignr for his insolence. Greetings. It's I, Grignr. Cyber Grignr. Stealer of things. And escaper from your strange mountain. Impatience manifest. Grignr does not know the meaning of the word manifest. Stolen somebody's clothes. Grignr's clothes now. Give that to Grignr. Greetings. It's I, Grignr. What does Grignr have to do? Smash the buttons! Grignr has done something. Grignr doesn't understand what he's done because Grignr cannot read. There is a friendly thing around. On Grignr's map, it shows there is a friendly person. Nobody's friends with Grignr. Grignr thinks he just saw an upgrade disc, but he might also be losing his mind. Grignr's seen a lot. Grignr has seen a lot. Greetings. It is I, Grignr. Grignr will not read these things. Smash! And Grignr has completed his challenge. Oh, find the upgrades to the auto dock. Now this is the thing Grignr is really after. The auto dock will make Grignr cyber Grignr. And with these things, Grignr will ascend. And finally have something worthwhile from this otherwise frightening land. Excellent. Oh, Grignr has found them all. Now, Grignr may return to this land freely, so that he can undertake cybernetic surgery or other such things whenever he likes. So this is an important task for Grignr to complete. He believes. In his mind, somewhere. I'm not sure he believes in much more. Grignr is not sure he believes these things.
I'll just set this on repeat while I go relieve my tank. No one will know.
There's a strange tower Grignr has to visit. Greetings. Is there anyone here? There's an empty building. Strange dead strange man. I'm sorry, dead man. Grignr arrived too late. Grignr could have been the one to kill you, but instead you died of blood. You died from blood. You drank too much blood and he drowned. Drowned horribly. Ah. Oh, this is for Grignr, thank you. A kind gift. Delicious. Grignr has completed his task. At long last, is Grignr free of this land and its tyranny. Oh. Please, reality. Stay strong. Do not break on Grignr.
You require some...
No. Goodbye. And Grignr will upgrade you.
You've been working with that biological research station, haven't you?
No. Goodbye. Oh, greetings.
Greetings, citizen. Ready to receive seditious materials.
Goodbye. And Grignr will upgrade you. Oh. Upgrade holotape received, upgrading to smart lights functionality, +2 int, +5 repair, +5 science, 12 hours after initial exposure.
How can I illuminate you?
You may not. Goodbye. Grignr is in a hurry. Upgrade received, mood lighting, +2 charisma, +5 barter, +5 speech.
You've been seeing the other.
Goodbye.
Mood lights have more fun.
And finally, upgrades for
Might I be of service?
various Grignr's weapons. Goodbye. And Grignr is complete. Oh, thank God. Grignr grows closer to freedom. Now he will continue with his task that he was given many, many days ago. Audio samples for the jukebox. Specimen testing area. This is what Grignr has to do? Yes! This is what Grignr has to do. You're right! Grignr had to find the key to unleash the specimen, to do a thing to please the robots. To release Grignr. And then Grignr can return to his...
To be attacked
No!
by seize you! Destroy this one, I'll make more.
You return to Grignr. You coward scorpion. Metal beast. Grignr's brand new glowing enchanted axe will make short work of you, strange metal man. You! Surrender to Grignr! Finally, escape is in Grignr's hands. Though Grignr will enjoy his new home, where he can sell many things. Excuse me. Please, allow Grignr entry. Greetings. Oh! Oh, be gone! You! These are for Grignr. He appreciates your kind gift and generous offer. There's some sort of upgrade for the strange gun Grignr found. Now, freedom! Release the unusual specimen. And now he must continue on with his journey. Again, with this strange thing. It's a good job Grignr cannot read. For maybe these strange words may have frightened Grignr. Greetings? Is I Grignr? There's nothing here. Grignr went to the wrong building? Basic test? Aha! Grignr smashed buttons until he figured out what he is supposed to do. Grignr does not know what this strange creature is that lies in wait.
Attention, students. This is the pre-recorded voice of your pre-recorded principal. Principal Boros.
It is a Night Stalker. Grignr has fought these beasts many times before. There's nothing new to Grignr. Strange. Are you the strange creature that Grignr is supposed to be fighting? Oh. How bizarre. Grignr is confused. The strange voice from the sky told Grignr that he would be fighting a powerful enemy.
Where once, long ago, was a student here. Omnipotent God Principal. As I soon will be Lord of Big Mountain. Do-dee-do. Do you hear that? It is my trumpet of victories.
Yeah. Grignr is getting flashbacks to the year 2007 when all sorts of strange entertainment devices were written as if only to impress 13-year-olds. Such a thing frightens Grignr, for Grignr is not 13. Grignr does not know how old he is because he cannot count. Be gone! Grignr? Grignr. Oh, come on! Stand down! Strange one-eyed metal cyclops. Oh. Did Grignr win?
Richie likes balls.
Haha! Balls. Like the balls that Grignr has. You tell many funny jokes, Magic Man. And now Grignr has to do the same thing again. Grignr is tired tired, boss. Grignr just wants to sleep. Grignr wants to lay down in his penthouse that he liberated from the Houseman with his good friends Barbarian. He wants to lie down and look up at the stars that he cannot see because
Students, this is
it's a strange land.
voice of your pre-recorded principal, Dr. Principal.
Grignr has been drinking alcohol.
Hold it right there.
To clarify, Grignr has alcohol in his hand already to drink at all times. But Grignr has been drinking it so frequently that
Put down your weapons right there. Submit to authority.
it has not been reminding Grignr that he is drinking alcohol. No.
Be quiet here and filled with.
Be gone? No, Grignr's axe is mighty. It's imbued with such magic that allows it to pass through the very barriers of light. But of course, magic defeats magic. Grignr is aware of such things. He's a barbarian. He's lived on the land and fought many wizards. Fought alongside many wizards. Like his good friend, Arcane Ganon. Please free Grignr from this accursed hell.
Please place all filthy
Do not shoot Grignr.
Do not make any
Do not shoot
further
Grignr.
escape attempts.
especially those with funny pictures of me in them.
Grignr will pass your trial at speed. He will run at speed. He will name your trial a speed run. AGDQ. Autumn Grignr done
This is
quick.
a lawful use of deadly force. Please direct complaints to your local law enforcement.
Begone.
Spelling mistake.
And now Grignr is free. At long last. Oh my god. Oh no. Grignr is pleased. Grignr is pleased. Grignr leveled up. Oh, Grignr gained experience in his life that allowed him to unlock new skills. Because that is how life works. You gain experience, you do things enough, practice, and then you too will become as mighty and big muscled as Grignr. Though Grignr was born. He flew, he bench pressed his way out of his mother's womb. With mighty muscles intact, Grignr did not have to train his muscles, only his mind to be as smart as he is. If Grignr's results. Grignr is pleased. He is now free. Ah! Grignr now has damage bonus against Night Stalkers. Grignr is a mighty powerful man. Please tell Grignr that wasn't all optional. Oh. Did Grignr not have to do that? Oh. Oh. Tell up quickly. Grignr. Cover up the shame with alcohol. Oh, poor sweet Grignr. What does Grignr do though? No. Grignr has to speak to the... No, Grignr can't leave. Grignr will have to speak to the robots who kidnapped him. Perhaps they will tell Grignr what to do because he is incapable of thought. Begone! Small cyborg barbarian. Grignr still cannot travel. Begone! Let Grignr go! Grignr's home. Grignr hates it here. Greetings, strange robots who kidnapped Grignr. It is I! Grignr. You, lead robot.
Did you retrieve the technologies yet? We need them, as I have indicated.
Yes. Grignr does not know what to say. You will tell Grignr your secrets, robot.
Why, yes. We are filled with the knowledge you speak of. If you wish to know more, simply ask the others. They can help you.
Grignr has to complete the test where he is stealthy. Oh. Grignr will continue. Goodbye, strange robot. This may be Grignr's last trial. And then he is free. And if Grignr is not free after this, maybe Grignr will find a way to escape because Grignr is having a difficult time here in Big MT, doing the same tasks over and over and over and over until Grignr feels mad in his brain. Grignr does not even have a brain anymore. What is Grignr to do in this strange land? Greetings. Is I Grignr? Oh, what is in this safe? Nothing. Reward. Grignr loves rewards. Greetings. Basic test. Excellent. Grignr will equip the strange stealth. Strange stealth that he has found.
Hello. It's nice to meet you. Who can I hide you from today?
My own thoughts, for they are filled with
We're
sin.
okay on Stimpaks.
This pleases Grignr.
Medic supplies adequate.
As Grignr began the test.
I bet no one has ever been as unnoticed as me.
You were so loud, strange lady in Grignr's suit. You were so loud. If Grignr bought his hammer, he could be smashing these.
Too bad. We were spotted by robots. If you go back to the terminal to restart the test, I won't mess up again.
Grignr may return with his hammer. Grignr may go and get his hammer. Be gone. Although this does fit Grignr very nicely. It is a very tightly fitting suit, compresses Grignr's muscles down. Condenses his strength. Now when Grignr punches his foes, they will be punched with a might that they've never felt before. For Grignr's muscles have been condensed down. It doesn't make any... the more Grignr thinks about it, the less Grignr understands what he is saying.
The Cazador Preserve and the Night Stalker splicing facilities are strangely quiet. Too quiet.
Yes, you are strange. Insane machine. You're a metal man. He's gone mad. Grignr understands. Grignr feels the same way if this... Oh, Grignr had a crowbar. Oh! Grignr had everything he needed to breach the door. Oh! Grignr apologizes, strange cop robot. He's done this same thing so many times at this point. What, so many times? Now Grignr leveled up. Grignr keeps forgetting what he was talking about midway through speaking it because he can't remember what he has said and what he hasn't said that you've already heard him say. Grignr leveled up. And Grignr took as his level up a thing that makes him powerful in the sunshine. And also Grim Reaper Sprint. Grim Reaper Sprint lets him get action points if he kills a man. And the solar powered gives him strength when he is in direct sunlight. And Grignr will always be walking around in direct sunlight because things are very difficult to see in the darkness. For Grignr is no owl.
This should be easy, as long as I don't screw up again.
Although if Grignr was an owl, that would be a strange plot twist. For both Grignr and the voices in Grignr's head. Be gone. What?
Stealth boys are a robot's big weakness.
Grignr has no sneaking skill. He's a muscle-laden man. How is Grignr expected to complete such a trial? Does Grignr have Stealth Boy? Because Grignr could just use a Stealth Boy. Aid. Stealth Boy. Grignr has 2 of them. Okay, Grignr will try again.
This should be easy, as long as I don't screw up again.
Grignr regrets not... Well, yeah, very hidden. Grignr regrets, perhaps, not investing into his sneaking abilities. As a thieving barbarian, perhaps he could have used such talents. But Grignr is not a sneaky thief. The whole...
Stealth boys are a robot's big weakness.
Greetings, Grignr.
This should be easy, as long as I don't screw up again.
Yes, very good suit. Sad time. Bash door. Grignr crawl.
Stealth boys
Grignr
are
spotted.
a robot's big weakness.
Grignr go. Grignr, eat this place! Be gone!
This one looks pretty tough.
No, Grignr can sneak freely without the robot sneak. Ow. Be gone. Can Grignr destroy his enemies and just sneak and steal the things without having to worry about it? Does that work? Grignr...
Technically, it's impossible to overdose on painkillers.
Grignr does not know enough about medicine to disagree with you. But it is technically true, I suppose.
Cessation of hostilities complete.
Greetings, Ty Grignr.
This should be easy, as long as I don't screw up again.
Bash. Ah! Grignr is a genius!
Test data processed. Firmware updated to version 1.1. Boot damping sensors online.
Eureka! The eye of Moby.
Grignr is a genius! He's done it! Oh!
Mean robot bugs! Mean robot bugs!
Be gone! There was enough voices in Grignr's head without a very loud one. Another level. Yo, Grignr is thoroughly pleased with his solution to that problem. What a genius Grignr is. Wow. Grignr will take... Grignr would like to take Explorer when he is in... If Grignr takes this, will it work for Vegas? If Grignr takes the Explorer perk, he knows every location, and Grignr is a treasure hunting barbarian, so it makes sense that he would know such things.
Prepare to be attacked by
I'll miss you.
Go, my Eureka!
Grignr can now take Spray and Pay. Your attacks do less damage to companions. Penny Collectors. You and your companions gather bottle caps and Legion coins. Double Slash. With a blink of an eye, your enemy may be sliced in half thanks to a stranger with a blade. With this perk, when you fight with a melee weapon, a Vault Dweller with a sword will appear during the battle. Grignr gets a friend. It also may scare the ever-loving shit out of Grignr. And may sober him up. Which frightens Grignr. Grignr might be frightened so much that he is sober.
Robo-Scorpion, attack!
What is Grignr's quest? Return to the think tank and let Dr. Klein know you've completed your task. Complete all the X-13 quests? No. Though Grignr has a solution to such problems.
Oh, hit my robo...
Weapons expert? Oh! Grignr's friend!
You won't escape me!
Greetings! It is like Grignr.
I'm hit.
Go, my minion! You're no match for science! Oh, hit my robo...
Grignr has lost his fucking mind.
Robo-Scorpion, hanging on!
Grignr had a friend. Grignr's friend turned up, did nothing, and then exploded. What a sad day to be Grignr. What a sad day to be Grignr. Just let him leave. Let Grignr go. Be gone. Strange noise. Grignr's tired, boss. Give Grignr your treasures. Grignr cannot open them. Open the lock. He's too weak.
Triumphant violence will seize you! You're no...
Grignr, give Grignr his robot, his machine man slaying axe.
Sting them in the name of all!
Be gone. And now Grignr is free. Please, allow Grignr his freedom. He is done here. At long last, he can return to his people in Vegas. His casino must have made so much money. It's the only thing keeping Grignr going. The thought of all the alcohol he'll be able to drink. Greetings.
I can hear your penis-tipped feet tromping around.
Yes, you are so funny. Grignr is 13, Lamau. The holds up Spork. I am to Grignr of Doom.
Did you retrieve the technology?
Yes, Grignr has them.
What? You did? Your survival, let alone success, barely registered in my projections. Now, all I need to do is check my transmission databank. Mobius is always filling it up with his psychotic calls. Oh yes, there's the schematics, just like you said. How truthful.
What now, you big metal man?
Yes, yes. Yes,
Please tell Grignr.
No, I mean yes. You just need to analyze these technologies for a moment. They are extremely advanced, you know?
Grignr will advance his boot into your voice module if you do not help him.
I know how these technologies work. Of course I know. If you remember, we described them in clearly abstract, contradictory statements before. Why would we do that if we weren't certain on how to use them? Yes, so let me, a bit, I'll figure it out.
Think it for Grignr. Grignr cannot help out at all because he is an idiot.
Let me check something. Of course, I have it. The override sequence to open the Forbidden Zone door is hidden in the schematics. Well, not hidden. It's actually right there, behind the programming equivalent of coffee stains. It's embedded in what seems to be recursive code. It's badly commented there and there. Oh, and null pointers very sloppy, Mobius. You see, using the antenna to boost the emitter's sonic frequency, and the stealth suit to bypass the Forbidden Zone lock, yes, that could work. Was that my plan? It must have been. Sometimes I truly surprise myself. The door is open, and now Mobius will get his.
Should Grignr go and destroy them?
The door should be unsealed. Now, instead of being subjected to threats, we can now send an equally threatening message to Mobius. And that message is science. Deliver this message, and Big Mountain shall be freed from Mobius's reign of terror. You can go now. That's your cue.
Grignr will go, and he will never look back. You hear, Grignr? He will never look... No. Now to slay the one they call Morbius. Oh, Grignr's friend! This is some sort of strange echo of perhaps even Grignr's true self.
I see you.
Ghost Grignr. Is it who Grignr was before he became Grignr? Grignr is so confused. Who are you, strange man with a sword? But with no muscles.
Your tail rocking on. Yep.
Morbius! Oh! It is I, Grignr. Grignr will... Healing powder. Grignr will drink everything he has. He will eat his sausage, his buff out, his delicious mentats. One of everything, please, waiter. Grignr has a battle to go for. Dog meat. Oh, human flesh, delicious. Num 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 num. Grignr is sure that many of these he should not be eating. But perhaps this is how Grignr defeats the giant robot enemy he finds himself face to face with. 14 strength, perfect. Greetings! It is I, Grignr. Begone! Grignr has defeated the robot. The great final enemy of... The great final enemy of the land of Big Mountain and Grignr. We got... Grignr got drunk. And it's it twice. Oh. No, I've never seen something more Grignr in my life. That was it right there. That was the moment right there. That was the great final showdown. The great final boss fight. Grignr is the true boss fight. Find all of the audio samples. Oh! Grignr completed the other quest. The only quest Grignr didn't complete was the one with the stealth suit. Because stealth isn't in Grignr's nature. He refuses to do that. Grignr hates things like sneaking and silence and not being loud and proud. Greetings. It is I, Grignr.
Huh? Oh, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. Little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
Greetings, Morbius. Grignr has defeated your giant scorpion and now you will die.
Oh, did I leave that on? I thought I'd powered it down. Was wondering what was causing the power outages.
You are not what Grignr expected.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
Grignr needs his brain.
Do you? You seem fine without it. And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes.
Goodbye, Dr. Morbius, Grignr's greatest enemy.
I'm having the most peculiar...
Strange man. You're a strange man. Why did you threaten the think tank?
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose.
You've been boofing Psycho. Not even Grignr is that brave. Grignr is your friend now. You and Grignr have a lot in common. Strange Morbius man. Grignr is pleased with this meeting. The mighty Morbius threatened the think tank who kidnapped Grignr. He's just boofing. Just a chemical boofer. Grignr is conflicted, all of this time and effort and smashing, just to meet a strange, drug-addled old man. It is like looking into Grignr's future. Stealing all of your things. Much as you stole Grignr's brain, maybe this is Grignr's future. Wow. Greetings. We've made quite a mess of this room. Dr. Morbius. Perhaps Grignr could tidy things up for you in exchange for his brain. Greetings. More drugs. Grignr is very pleased with this development. Oh. Grignr does not like this strange noise his own brain is making. Grignr is putting off speaking to his own brain because he's not quite sure how yet he's going to do the many voices. Grignr's brain? Grignr will have a word with you in a second. He does like drugs, doesn't he? Wow. Grignr is very pleased with staggering amount of drugs he's found. Good God, man. Oh my God. Grignr will never need to need a top-up again. Oh, he's got a framed picture of all of them before they became brain men. This must have who they be in a past life. This whole situation is an allegory for Grignr's own. It's a metaphor. Grignr doesn't understand what that word means. It's a metaphor for Grignr's own situation. Is basically the only reason Grignr came here. This is the big reveal. Their brains were removed from their body. They became smart. Grignr's brain was removed from his body. Grignr becomes stupid. That was it. Grignr didn't really think it through much more than that. Which is perfectly on brand for Grignr. Greetings, Grignr. It is I, Grignr.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
You sound like the strange boy from the Family Man animated show, Grignr's brain.
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
You are far too smart to be Grignr's brain. But Grignr would like a cookie.
Is this really what I have to look forward to?
Why are you a dick to Grignr?
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
It is very fun. Grignr enjoys these things.
Fun? Fun? Is tetanus fun? Is rickets? What about sepsis, huh? Enjoy that, do we? The things you do with our body are suicidally dangerous, and if you could silence your glandular impulses, you would hear me screaming at you!
Do you not want to return to Grignr's head?
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
Grignr drinks a lot of alcohol. He cannot help these things. Grignr has arms. You're coming with Grignr.
I can see there's going to be no reasoning with you at all, is there? I'm nothing more than a slave to your deranged glandular whims.
You would rather be stuck here, in your strange fishbowl, fish brain?
Well, certainly there might be some things I miss about being ambulatory. We have seen some incredible sights, haven't we?
Like Major Knight.
Jason Bright and his followers launching into the vast unknown. But still, given the tremendous, potentially life-ending peril that went along with those, yes, I'd rather stay here.
So the brain, at that point, is supposed to list all the impressive things you've seen on your adventures. He listed one thing, and that was when we blasted ghouls off into space and didn't really do much to help out with that. That was it. Normally he goes on like a 5-minute diatribe talking about all the great things you've accomplished. Nothing for Grignr.
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
Grignr did not think you thought about that, Brain. You miss all the alcohol that Grignr puts in you.
Yes, all right, bravo. You've come up with something I neglected to consider. There'll be no living with you now. So, what do we do about this?
Grignr is happy to continue without a brain. He didn't need you before.
You mean I'll stay in my tank and you'll stay in your skin? And we'll each handle our own areas of expertise? I certainly like the sound of that.
Excellent. Grignr's heart and spine talk too?
Yes. Well, you do know that those particular organs don't have neurons and are thus incapable of speech. Yes?
You seem awful smart to be Grignr's brain.
I've been bettering myself, I'll have you know. I've been reading. Actual literature, mind you, not that La Fantôme or Tales of Chivalry drivel. I've been studying the classics, acquiring a solid grounding in medicine and the sciences. Also, I'm fairly certain this tank has been liberally salted with ground mentats.
You make smart talk Grignr head hurt.
Well, we certainly wouldn't want to strain your comprehension, would we?
You want to come with Grignr for more adventures?
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem. Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
They promised Grignr.
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
We... kill.
Oh, lovely. We've reached the mindless violence portion of the program. Tell me, what exactly are you, and I use the word loosely, planning?
Smash! Smash! The brains have forgotten the little things like sharp blades and heavy chunks of steel.
Going the old-fashioned route, are we? I rather like it. What's next?
We... smash them!
Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us.
No.
Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Grignr has put his brain in his pocket. Grignr can also...
The neutron's attached to the meson. Meson's connected to the proton.
Goodbye, Dr... What is this glove? It's Grignr's now. Goodbye, Dr. Morbius. Oh, Grignr can't carry that many things. Oh. Goodbye, Dr. Morbius. May you morb in peace. Grignr can return his original heart and spine, but seeing as he is on a journey to become Cyber Grignr, Grignr will not be doing these things. Grignr is no coward. Poor giant scorpion. Grignr feels so bad about what he did. He didn't even have to try. It was a massacre. Ah. Oh. Oh, Grignr's drugs have worn off. Now he is slow Grignr again. Grignr does not need that. Goodbye. What do these gloves do? Just lots of different effects. Oh, they're pretty good. Can Grignr repair anything? Eat something? Lower his weight a little bit? Drink some water. You got lots of water there, Grignr. Now Grignr will smash the truly evil brains who manipulated Grignr into getting his body back so that they could lower the force field so that they could escape. It wasn't Grignr they were going to let escape, it was themselves in their brain.
Might I be of service?
Yes, buy some things from Grignr. He has too much stuff. Buy these. No, you can't afford any more. Fine. Sold. Do you have any... No. Oh, yum deviled eggs. Sold. Grignr's direct brain in the jar. No. Grignr has to keep his...
Don't mess with me, pal.
Hello?
You require some additional services?
No, Grignr doesn't need anything. Grignr will buy your implants at some point. Dr. Kleiner, wait to make sure you're prepared to finish this once and for all. Grignr is prepared. Oh! It's gone red. Red because Grignr is prepared for great evil. No, call the NCR for support. No. Grignr's just here to dose up on everything. Even the things Grignr doesn't need, he will dose up on. This will be Big Scorpion 2.0. Doesn't need to eat all the food. That probably did more damage than good last time. Excellent. Oh my god. Oh! Die Grignr?
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
Grignr has turned on Discord light mode. Oh! You may have noticed that Grignr is capable of violence.
A fight? I've never been in a fight. What do I... Colleagues! Think tank! Alert! Alert! We are under attack! What's with the radio beams already?
Be gone. Be gone. Be gone. Be gone. Be gone. Grignr has done it. Grignr would love to be able to see. Good lord. Oh. Please let Grignr see what the fucking hell's going on. Well, that was underwhelming. Oh, Grignr has leveled up again, for he is unstoppable. This is what Grignr would call the complete shit show. Grignr will level up his... Grignr doesn't want any of these things. They're all a bit terrible. Grignr will take this one so that he does not get so many critical hits. Grignr can see. Grignr has killed all of the robots. And if you are surprised that Grignr killed the robots, Grignr would like to repeat. Grignr will take this one. More damage for each crippled limb. So that if he's in trouble in combat, he can fight back a little stronger. If you are surprised that Grignr has slain the many robots, consider what happens when the Metal Brotherhood kidnapped Grignr. Grignr slayed them. What happens when the Great Khans threatened to kidnap Grignr? Grignr slayed them horribly. Someone else also kidnapped Grignr, but Grignr doesn't remember who. They are now also dead. Grignr can leave now? He's free?
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the most powerful minds of the 23rd century. The courier who had been brought to the Big Empty became its new overlord, using its facilities ruthlessly and decisively when needed. Sometimes, science is more than a quest for discovery. It is a weapon to be used in the service of one with the strength to understand it.
The Sync Central Intelligence Unit was impressed by the amount of exploration the courier had undertaken. Facilities believed lost, destroyed, or ones that had simply gotten up and walked to new locations had been rediscovered by its intrepid new master. Internally, the artificial personality debated as to whether it preferred the old management to the new, and concluded that the courier's thorough approach to research and investigation was admirable and worthy of its respect.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The biological research station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant, and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magnetohydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. It learned several new murderous techniques from the courier, and built a blood shrine to itself in the cuckoo's nest. The cave floor was soon filled with the horror of 100 gutted toasters. A silent, grisly, unplugged audience. Their purpose? To toast bread. Unfulfilled.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910. If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names once too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X-8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 continued to scan for the subject and the stealth suit prototype long after the test was over. Frustrated and unable to find its lost technology, X-13 expanded its network of laser tripwires, sensors, and robo-brains out across Big Mountain. This glittering blue light beam forest cleanly bisected anything that entered its depths, slicing them into small segmented parts for easy disposal.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
The think tank basement, filled with the lobotomized robotical frames of the doctors, now served as a graveyard. The monitors had recorded the battle in its entirety, including the think tank's final, shrill, terrified screams, whimpers, and pleas for mercy. They broadcast these humiliating last moments as a warning to anyone approaching the perimeter that other smarty pants were not welcome. The courier was the inheritor of the Big Empty, and there was room for only one will in the halls of the think tank dome.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
The Big Empty lived up to its name, a hollow crater of failures of a past era, a last sad statement of the old world.
In the time following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, Old World Blues became more than a catchphrase.
It became a reality, a withering form of nostalgia for times long past.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, it was all this and more. Old world blues, new world misery. The two became one in the courier's shadow.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
My God. We're free. We're free. We can You might have thought that's coming from the game. That's not coming from the game, by the way. That's me losing my friggin' mind. I didn't want Grignr to have his brain back, but I think we didn't really have a choice. Right, well, that's that. Oh, Grignr needs to lie down. Grignr needs to lie down.